What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today what we're going to be doing is mixing the beat that we made on our last video. All we're going to do pretty much is just level it, EQ it, do some compression, and then on certain instruments we're going to do a little bit more, like add some distortion, saturation, other stuff like that. So where we're going to get started first is just leveling everything and making sure everything is nice and leveled before we start doing anything else. So for that, I'm just going to start off with the loop we're using, and for this I'm probably going to be aiming around -18 to 21, around that area. So I'm just going to get started and play it. So that's pretty much where we want it. I think I ended up leveling that before we started making the beat, so that's good there. And then from there we're just gonna work, we could work our way from low to high. So we're just gonna start with the 808, and then for the 808 we're gonna be aiming around -6 and 9. So we're just gonna start with that. There we go. Because I kind of want the 808 to be more present than the kick. So I'm going to put the 808 probably a little bit higher than the kick, and I'm going to bring the kick a little bit more down. So we're going to work on the kick now, and we're just going to level it. Same thing, -6 to 9. And as you can tell, the kick's already louder than -6. So we're just going to bring this down just a little bit within the drum designer. I think that's good there. We could always do little subtle changes with the fader, but we'll do that later on. Right now I'm just trying to level everything. So now that we got the low end, we can move on to the clap. And then for the clap, I'm going to be aiming around -12. So the clap is lower than I need it to be, so we're just going to bring it to clap. There we go, that's good there. So now we got the clap, we could start using, we could do the percussion next. And for the percussion, I want it to be lower than the clap, because I don't want it to be louder than the clap. So for that, we're just going to be aiming probably around -18 to 12. Probably bring it up a little bit. I think that's good there. So now that we got this done, we could start working on the hi-hats. And for the hi-hats, I want it to be probably around -24. So now we have the hi-hats leveled, we can start working on these little perks. I have this, I called it a frog because it kind of sounds like a frog. And for that, we're just going to put it probably around the same as the hi-hats. That's already too loud there. That's good there. I don't want it to be too loud. And then there's this hi-hat roll I put in here. I'm just gonna bring it down too. I kind of want it to match the same as the hi-hat, so I'm probably just gonna bring it really down. There we go, that's good there. So now that we have everything pretty much leveled, we can start working on EQing. I tend to EQ and then compress. So we can start with the piano. The piano is already EQ'd, so I'm not gonna touch it. If anything, I'm probably just gonna add, we got this soft tube drawer, the S73. I like how this sounds on a lot of the loops or a lot of my melodies and chords that I use. So we're just gonna see which one sounds best. So I like how the is it clarity 2 sounding, but it does bring it up in volume, so I'm just gonna probably bring the gain down just a little bit. And then I'm gonna add a compressor to it. So the compressor I'm just gonna use, we can use a stock regular. There we go. So I like how it's sounding. So I'm gonna leave it there, and then we're just gonna keep moving on. So next thing we could do is we could start with the 808. Bring this down. So we start with the 808, and for the 808, what I want to do is just start off with a simple EQ, and that's just gonna bring down the 400 because there's a lot of air here. So that air, I just want to remove that air, so I'm probably just bringing it down 3 dBs. And I'm also going to do the same thing at 250. And again at 100. And the reason why I'm going to do 100 is because with the kick, we're going to boost up the 100 hertz. So for the 808, I just want to subtract that. And we just want to take out some of the high. There we go. So now that we have that, what I kind of want to do is just start off with the max bass from Waves, or we can actually just use the Camel Crusher. And then I know this factory preset, the British clean, always sounds good, but I think I just want to bring the volume down. There we go. So I like how it's sounding. So now we have that on. We could do a little bit of the max space, not too much, because I don't want to really destroy the 808. Do a light. There we go. So that sounds good there. So next thing we could do is just add a little bit of saturation. And for the saturation, I'm just going to bus it. So I'm going to bus 22. Go here to this channel strip, and I'm just going to put sat for saturation. And the saturation I always use the same one. It's from Soft Tubes, and it's the saturation knob. And that's just because you could just turn the knob all the way up and then just bus it. So just turn this all the way up, and then we're just going to use this to bus it. So it adds a lot to it, and I always like the color it adds to 808s. So that's why I always saturate my 808s just a little bit. And then we could just add a simple compressor, and think of just using, I think it's the H compressor by Waves. And then the threshold, I'm just gonna put the ratio probably to 12. Probably add a little bit of punch. And I'm just gonna put the analog at 1, and I'm just gonna move the threshold. There we go. So I ended up just bringing it, I'll put this probably at 5. The 808 just a little bit, just to get a lot of the peaks. And then now that we have that ready, we could just add a sidechain to it. So for that, I'm just gonna put the Waves. I'm gonna use the R compressor because I always liked how it sounded when I sidechain stuff to it. So here it is. And I'm just gonna sidechain it to the kick. So I think the kick is, let's see, stereo out. So this one. Yeah, there we go. So for that, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna put pumper 2 on it because I always like how it sounds. There we go. So I just ended up sidechaining just a little bit, put a quick release and a medium attack. So now that we got that, we can start working on the kick. And for the kick, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna EQ it first. I just want to start boosting at around 100 hertz, probably about like that. And then I'm gonna bring down at 400 also, and at 250. So there we go. And then we could probably cut off some of this lows, probably around 35 actually. And we could just cut off some of this highs also. Next thing we could do is add a compressor to it. Okay, so I ended up adding the C4. I didn't realize that I wasn't recording. I ended up just boosting some of the low, some of the mids also, and then the highs are just left the same. So this is how the kick is sounding now. Off. And it's on. So it's just subtle, just a little bit more control on the kick. And then what I want to do is just add a compressor to it. There we go. So I like how that's sounding. And then we're going to push up the volume, but we're going to do that later. And then I'm just going to add some saturation just like I did to the 808, just because I like how it sounds. There we go. Now that we have the low pretty much done, I'm just going to start working on the clap. And then for the clap, I'm just going to do a simple EQ. Probably boost up around here. And then I'm also going to add this isotope. It's a free plugin you get. It's called the Ozone Imager. And for that, I'm going to use it just to spread it a little bit more. So I'll probably bring this down around here. So it's like very subtle, but it's going to make a difference in like the long run. So now that we have that, I'm just going to add just a compressor. And for the compressor, I use the same one. I could use this one, or we could be using a V compressor by Waves. We'll see which one sounds better. Port 4 to 1. Leave that auto. We can actually just use this one, and then I'm just gonna leave the clap how it is. I don't really add anything else to it. That we can move on to the percussion, and for the percussion, we're just gonna play it at the same time, and we're just gonna EQ it. I'm just gonna boost it there, and I don't really compress like percussion or hi-hats. So what I'm just gonna do is add the ozone, the imager, just spread it out just a little bit more also. So I'm just gonna turn the stereo on. There we go. So I'm just gonna leave it how it is. And then, so now we pretty much have all this done. We start moving on to the hi-hats. And for the hi-hats, I just EQ, just cut out all this low. And then I saw this cool trick where someone half-timed the hi-hats. We could try it. I don't know what it's gonna do. Stereo. I don't know. I don't really know what they did, but we'll just leave the hi-hats like this. And then we're gonna do the same thing. Try to add a little bit of imager just to spread it out just a little bit. Probably bring this down. And then what I also like adding is tremolo, the modulation tremolo. And then this is just to spread out the hi-hats a little bit more. There we go. So I don't compress hi-hats either. I just leave it how it is. So now for this frog thing, all I'm gonna do is just EQ it. I don't plan on adding anything else. I don't even know what this is. It sounds like a frog to me. It sounds cool though. We could probably just spread it. And then for that, we could just go to imaging. We could probably do the studio spreader. Probably bring this to 0. It's around like 500 or something like that. So we just bring this down like this. Okay, so now that we have that pretty much done, I'm not going to compress it. We can move on to this hi-hat roll. And we could also do the same thing, ozone imager. And then we could try the halftime thing again on here maybe. So hopefully it works. Hopefully it makes it sound cool. Let me see within the song. Bring it down. I don't know if I like it. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'll leave it. But I'm just gonna leave out. I don't think it matters, to be honest. It's like something simple. It's not like something big. So now we have everything pretty much leveled, compressed, and EQ. I'm gonna re-level everything just a little bit. So I'm pretty much gonna leave it like this. I don't plan on adding anything else. I could also do this cool trick where you just put a binaural pan and then just center it. And then, but for that, you're just gonna kind of want to bring down the volume because it's gonna make it like stupid loud. And that's just for it could center the 808. You could also do it on the kick too. We could try it on the kick also. So do binaural pan and then just center it, kick, and bring it down. So I'm just gonna end the video here. Yeah, because I don't think I'm gonna do anything else. I don't really know what else to add other than probably just a limiter on some of these. Watch to the end. I just want to say thank you guys for watching. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.